G'day folks, welcome back to Dune Awakening. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's episode, we are going to begin the very big project of our, hopefully, final expansion to this base. We need to somehow get a hangar that's going to fit a carry-all ornithopter and a harvester as well. Now, whether or not we keep the harvester together with the carry-all ornithopter or if we keep it separately, I'm still not entirely sure whether or not we're going to do that. I'm sort of just going to be doing a bunch of test and learns, as I usually do with all of my builds. So there's probably going to be a lot of fumbling, a lot of building and then deconstructing and then rebuilding again, because I go in with no plan, and I'm pretty much going to show you the entire process of that, sped up, obviously. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little building segment there. So we probably spend about a quarter of today's episode just simply doing all that building. And I think things are coming along pretty nicely. I did try to get fancy here and there on, I suppose, the build on this side. I tried to sort of make things look a little bit nicer, but I couldn't really get the pieces to work for whatever reason. I think there's probably something going on with the current structure that's sort of preventing us from being able to do what we want to do, but that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with what we've got. And yeah, I mean, the manufacturing and garage structures haven't really been touched, so this is a pretty good first step. And let me just quickly walk you through my line of thinking here, but I've widened the top hangar, obviously. And look, this is not the end-all solution. There's a bit more expanding to go, but at the very least, what will happen is that we should be able to get our assault ornithopter safely secured in here, and in fact, we probably needed a little bit of space for the assault ornithopter anyway. And I could probably just reassemble our assault ornithopter to test things out, but look, I won't subject you to that, because I think I'm gonna need to perhaps maybe fiddle around with, you know, whatever's going on up here. So just in case we need to do that, I've decided to just keep the assault ornithopter tucked away for the time being. I do have to obviously reconsider where a lot of our turbines are going, so, you know, I'm just going to leave them where they are for the moment. The stuff on top of the roof over there doesn't look too bad, to be honest, so I could potentially leave things there. But the real crux of this expansion is going to be what happens on this side. So we have what I like to call this observation deck, which gives us a nice view of the, I guess, the remaining sort of valley here of the western shield wall. And I think we're going to have to get rid of that, to be honest, because I need another hangar to house all of the vehicles that we're about to build, right? So we may need to sort of play around with whatever's going on this side, including getting rid of the observation deck and also the balcony as well, which I really liked having the balcony there, but unfortunately I think we're going to have to get rid of it to accommodate, I guess, more functional parts of the building. So that's the plan anyway. So look, part 1 done. Part 2 is obviously, well, arguably going to be the more challenging component, where we're looking at the next part of the structure. Oh, I do have this thruster, or ornithopter thruster, that I need to tuck away at some point, so I'll definitely need to do that before we get on with the rest of the episode, and we shall, and we'll do a little bit of adventuring. I think we should just continue focusing on the main mission for the time being, and that way we can sort of see where this next task is going to take us, now that we need to speak to Alara once more. I'm hoping there's still a space in here for the thruster. Yes, there is. Very good. I did end up just consuming quite a lot of our spice sand there to just convert that into melange. I do need melange anyway, so we may as well, right? Alright, I think we're ready. I just need to grab a little bit of fuel for the scout ornithopter, and then we should be on our way. And I think I should have some fuel sitting around in one of these containers, hopefully. There we go, we've got plenty of fuel, so let's grab that and let's refuel. And it's time to go to Harko Village, and you know what, I like to take every opportunity I can to just stash away money, so I shall do that. But I'll meet you guys when we get a little bit closer to Hanavars and have that chat with Alara. Righto, I've just tucked away all of our cash. So let's see if we can have a chat with Alara and hopefully get another task of some sort. I wonder if there's going to be another assassination that we need to do.
Oh look, the kitten is back. Do we have business?
You said Fenring wants to see me?
Dangerous to speak that name aloud. Even here, beneath the cone of silence. You understand that we are not official. We are the hidden hand. Our connection offers no protection, only the danger of discovery and a slow death at the hands of those who would thwart the Imperium's interests.
There's something here you're not telling me.
Someone is killing his agents, picking us off one by one. So when I tell you to be careful, I mean it. You're my favorite kitten after all.
Is this why he wants to see me?
Well, I didn't ask. I'll have my men take you to him. His instructions are clear. We need to blindfold you first. See? I told you I had a ribbon for you, didn't I, kitten?
What if we refuse to be blindfolded?
Where is the trust? But very well. Come back when you want to do this on his terms.
Okay, right, we don't have the option.
Look, the kitten is back. Dangerous to speak that name aloud. Our connection offers no... Someone is killed. Well, see? I told you I had a ribbon
let's
for
do it.
you. Such trust. I promise not to take advantage of it.
Alright, well, let Alara lead the way.
Ah, my favorite assassin. I must confess that reading Alara's reports is a rare pleasure. Except this last report. You entered the ruins of old Carthage, accompanied by the outlaw Xantara, and you returned alone. Tell me, what happened down there?
Let's describe the Benetlilax lab and the events that transpired.
The Bene Tlilax, a nest of spiders that burned with old Carthage. Or so I thought. And you, a Gola, the flesh of the fallen, reborn. Fascinating. Your service has earned you answers. Ask.
Do you have experience with the Bene Tlilax?
Years ago, my informants traced some unusual activity in Carthage to a Bene Tlilaxu lab. Before we could investigate further, the city was destroyed. The destruction of old Carthage is considered a terrible accident. But was it? I believe it was the Tlilaxu who destroyed the city. A monstrous choice. Destroying innocent lives to cover their profane works.
You had me assassinate other Golas. Why?
They were the first sign that the Bene Tlilax were not done with Arrakis. My agents began reporting stir-ups among the minor power players. We quickly discovered that these were Tlilax agents, but that they were Gola was unexpected. Nevertheless, I could not allow them to destabilize the region. We must each do our part, and the spice must flow.
You promised me answers. I want to know more about Golas.
Unlike clones, who are grown from living cells, Gola are grown from the flesh of one who has died. The process of doing so is knowledge known only to the Bene Tlilax. They make a fortune dealing their blasphemous wares across the Imperium. Spoiled Na Familia will pay extraordinary sums to have their favorite pet or retainer resurrected. But they are never quite the same. No Gola has the memories of its original host. No Gola remembers who they are. If you value the past, or the mind, then Gola are worthless.
And what about me?
Indeed, you are a refinement. Your compulsion doesn't drive you to madness as it did the ones who came before you. You have a great deal of imprinting. You can learn skills that take decades to develop in a short amount of time. And, fascinatingly, you don't have the appearance of whoever you are originally grown from. Perhaps that is the clue. You must have been someone with a recognizable face. The Bene Tleilax are forced to hide you in plain sight.
Maybe I am several people combined?
It seems highly unlikely. Such experiments would be psychologically unstable.
Or perhaps I was someone famous.
It's plausible. You seem designed to be anonymous.
What do you think they want?
Perhaps we can discover the answer together. Recently, there has been a string of murders in Arrakeen. The victims have all been my agents at one time or another. A Tleilax retaliation for your efforts on my behalf. My chief inspector believes so. Travel to Arrakeen. Find my investigator in the Imperial Consulate. He'll be thrilled to have the help.
All right.
I expect nothing but excellence from you. Report to Alara when you are done. I will continue research into your origins.
Sure. No worries. Okay, that's our next task then. So, traveling to Arrakeen. Let's get it done. Okay, so we have arrived. What do we need to do next? Talk to the chief investigator at the Imperial Consulate. Okay. Imperial Consulate. I think that's the big sort of hallway looking structure, isn't it? So maybe somewhere in here. There must be someone we can speak to. Over here, maybe?
Well, if it isn't Fenring's pet puzzle box. Last we met, there was a Sardaukar blade against your throat, and I was debating how best to make you scream.
Yeah, I remember this guy. He didn't really feature too much in that cutscene, and we've been dealing with Fenring for quite a long time, but finally the game's circled back around to him, so I'm keen to learn about who this guy is. That would have been a big mistake, Tors. Good thing your boss has better instincts.
Careful, prisoner. I might start thinking you're trying to scare me.
We both want the same thing, a killer off the streets. Let's put the past aside and find the truth.
Truth is what I'm after as well, but words are easy. Actions will tell me if you mean it.
We have to move fast.
We don't have time for guesswork, but rushing breeds mistakes, and mistakes mean more blood on the streets. This killer is methodical, precise, and they won't stop until the job's done. There's a pattern to the victims. Find it, and you might catch them in the act. If the killer's still here, and we believe they are, then this is our best and maybe only chance to stop them. And make no mistake, if the Bene Tleilax are involved, this isn't just a string of murders. It's a purge, carefully planned and devastating. A threat not only to Arrakeen, but to the stability of the entire Imperium.
Where do we start?
There is no we. You go out and dig. I stay here and wait for the results. Don't come back empty-handed.
Why are you not leading this investigation yourself?
I am doing that very thing, am I not?
Well, you know what I mean.
The Sheriff of Arakeen has many opinions. One of them is that I should stay out of his way. For now, it's sufficient that I remain in the shadows.
What can you tell me about these dead agents?
They were competent, trained, and experienced. But skill only gets you so far when someone's watching your every move. They ran into something or someone they didn't expect. That's why they're dead now. No one's been able to stop whatever's behind this yet.
Any idea who that may be?
You want suspects? Count Fenring has enemies stacked like sandbags. Some want him dead, some want him ruined, and the rest are just waiting to see which comes first.
Well, our old swordmaster is one of those people, but I think we can rule him out. Where do you want me to start?
You're not Fenring's only pet. He's got a whole shelf of broken things he likes to wind up and watch. Start with the engineer Austin Lath on the upper level of the Seleucid Bull. The last two victims were known associates. He must be mixed up in this somehow.
The Seleucid is a large place. Where do I start?
He's not out on the floor with the common drinkers, if that's what you're thinking. Lath sticks to the back rooms. Quiet, curated, and expensive enough to keep the rabble out.
I didn't know there were back rooms.
Of course not. They are restricted to patrons of higher standing than prisoner. You'll have to speak with the barman on the upper level of the Seleucid Bull, Alistair Chim. Either he or their security man, Ugo Forense, can provide access.
This Lath character doesn't really sound like an agent.
Agent doesn't mean what you think here. Fenring's people aren't all cloak and dagger types. More like a specialized bunch of killers and survivors. You fit in better than you realize.
Do you have any idea who might be behind this?
We have a prevailing theory, yes. You've just come from Carthage, have you not? Then you felt it. The way the air there hums. Like the place is still screaming. That wasn't war. Wasn't Harkonnen and spite. That was Tleilaxu work. Precise and measured erasure. And these killings bear the same signature.
Fenring mentioned the Tleilaxu. I thought Carthage went up in a riot. Some drunk with a lasgun hit a shield.
Makes a tidy cover story, wouldn't you say? The Tleilaxu had a secret foothold under Carthage. You saw it. Hidden labs. Vaults full of nightmares. Things that don't belong on any world. Then someone found it. And when it wasn't secret anymore, they burned the city to cover their tracks.
Who found it? Was it one of the Count's agents?
It would seem that the Tleilaxu believe that, yes. I believe the exact who of it doesn't really matter anymore. For the Tleilaxu, a single breach warrants annihilation. They'll burn the whole house down, just to kill the mouse.
And if they think some mice got away?
Then they're not done burning. They'll keep going house by house, room by room, name by name, until the scent's gone and the ash settles.
Anyone else I should talk to beside the barkeep and bouncer?
Lath had an assistant, Hester Krimt. Talk to her. She's a smart girl. Does most of his work, then earns her hazard pay swatting hands from randy officers on the upper level of the Bull.
What else do I need to know about Lath?
If only I had a dossier and a drink menu. Find the man. You'll learn more in 5 minutes than I could tell you in 10.
Understood.
Should you require further guidance, return to me.
No worries. Alright, well, we should get this done. Sardaukar agent walking around there. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to sort of see what kind of characters you can come across in these city areas. I haven't exactly paid too much attention to Harko Village, but anyway, we do need to go to the Seleucid Bull, so let's get to it, and let's see what information we can pry out from it. And it should be the upper levels, right? So Austin Lathe. So should be around here somewhere, this Austin Lathe, but we might need to have a chat with either the bouncer or the barkeep first. Let's do that.
Hello! Welcome to the Matador Room, where the spirit of Caladan steps into the ring, poised, unshaken, and noble to the end.
To the end? That's an odd greeting.
Here we pay tribute to Duke Polus Atreides, the Matador of Honor, the blade wrapped in velvet. His was a dance not of death, but of discipline, of a soul meeting fate without fear.
What happened to him?
Ah, alas, the old Duke met his fate in the ring. Ah, but as the sea shapes the shore, so too does courage shape legacy. Enter as guest, remain as kin. For this is a house where dignity does not bow.
The Pion bows every day, but we never surrender our dignity.
As you say, Pion, Ugo speaks in a metaphor. No offense is intended.
I'm looking for your private rooms.
Believe me, I would love to usher you in and cause a scandal. But unless your house's sigil is on the registry, you will have to enjoy this floor with the rest of us wretches.
I respect the velvet rope, Hugo, but today I'm stepping over it. With your blessing, would be best.
Ah, if velvet ropes could talk, they would say, no exceptions, not even for charmers. Try another angle. Besides, the room is on lockdown. I'm just the gatekeeper here.
On lockdown? What happened?
A minor medical incident with a patron. We are grateful for your patience.
That's all you can tell me? A minor medical incident?
Of course, discretion and propriety forbid me from disclosing the activities of our patrons. You understand.
Subperfect Tours sent me. He believes the one I seek is in imminent danger.
Hey, Thors sent you.
I'm looking for an engineer called Austin Lathe. Word is he's a regular.
Yes, we know Master Lathe well. Alas, he is the subject of the unfortunate medical incident I spoke of.
Minor medical incident, you said?
Yes, but that was before you identify yourself as the sub-prefect's agent.
And now?
I regret to inform you that the engineer has suffered the most conclusive of health setbacks.
Okay, most conclusive of health setbacks. He's dead.
Let's just say he won't be ordering more drinks anytime soon.
What are you doing with the body?
Currently, I am speaking with you. Soon I will attend to Master Lathe.
What does that mean?
Master Lathe is na familia. Typically, that means there would be an inquiry, but Master Lathe has no known next of kin. That means there is no one to miss him or call for such an inquiry. So the matter dies with him.
What happens to him then?
I have the Beggars Guild on retainer. When such a case arises, I leave a mark on the side door, and the body disappears, never to be seen again.
Wait, there's a beggars guild?
Psha, how else do you expect beggars to decide the turf boundaries and resolve disputes?
I don't know, with a knife?
In the old days, yes. But the Duke does not abide violence in the streets.
Was anyone else seen entering the private room besides Leith?
Master Leith, he was not exactly a social creature, but he wasn't a monk either. Few faces came and went, trusted ones at that. Well, Alistair, the steward, kept him fed and pickled. The wine merchant, Ambrose Lucifera, would sometimes stop in for a glass or a five. He and Leith share a taste for esoteric reactionary literature. Oh, and his assistant, Hester Klimt. Well, she is the one who actually keeps the planetologist office running. If Leith had a shadow, it was her.
What is reactionary esoteric literature?
She is a blend of outdated political theory, mystical dogma, and a romantic delusion. Written by fringe thinkers for fringe audiences. Master Leith's attentions were ever diverted by it, and proletarian erotica.
What was that last part?
Proletarian erotica. Titillating stories about the field hands and mechanics, usually. Grimy rendezvous in tool sheds and bunkhouses. Factory workers rotting behind oil drums while quoting dialectics. It's someone's version of liberation, I suppose.
I still need to see the body.
Very well. But may I ask what is it you are looking for?
I'm not sure this was accidental or suicide, Ugo. It might have been a conspiracy.
What a conspiracy! The man was cooked on Vanta draft, and he liked to play revolutionary between relapses.
Vanta draft?
I grant you access to the lounge.
Damn.
But I make it quick.
I wanted to know more about this Vanta draft. Mind if I run a quick scan in there? Might pick up something we'd otherwise miss.
Please, wave your little wand around. You will see what I saw. The trail of a man who burned from the inside out.
I better go. Right. So... where is this room? Back here. Oh, right. There's an actual door. Didn't even realize. Okay, what do we have here? Well, crime scene, obviously. There's the dead man over there. There's some kind of a recording.
If you're hearing this, well, I didn't get away. I'm Austin Lathe, engineer. The guy they call when they want things done, not questions asked. There was this one chance I could have said no, but I didn't. I crunched the numbers, fine-tuned them. That was all it took to bring down the ceiling on 1 million lives. I didn't press the button, but I knew it was coming. I just didn't want to disappoint the guy who asked. They gave me a new title, a nicer coat, called me Na Familia. But after that, they wouldn't look me in the eye. And the thing I hear over and over, it's not the blast, it's my silence. And I found this pamphlet stuck behind a sink. You dig, you sweat, you die, and your work builds opera houses on worlds you'll never see. There was a sandfly stamped on the back, razor wings, sickle-shaped stinger. What bleeds in silence must one day sing. Didn't get it then, but those words stuck.
Sandflies. Okay. Are they involved somehow? I feel like we've left their territory ages ago, though. Okay, quite a few things to take a look at. Let's just interact with all these scrolls on this table. A chaos of stained papers litter the table. It would look as if it had been stormed through if it weren't for the empty cups standing undisturbed. Look at the documents. Scrolls are spread out on the table. Most are covered in scribbles and shapes, crumpled, dirtied. One stands out in neat letters on top of the stack. Look at the neat parchment on top of the stack. It is made of spice paper. It reads, "Wings in the dark, notes towards a future without chains, a manifesto of some sort." And look at the messy stack of scribbled scrolls. Sketches and undecipherable schematics. It is too chaotic or too expert for you to make sense of it. Let's examine something else. Let's look at the cups. The cups look soiled. Austin Lathe either was an exceptionally heavy drinker or he may have had some company. Let's look at the one on the left. Empty, save for some dark dregs at the bottom. A strong, aggressive smell comes from it. It's a bit sticky to the touch. What about the one in the middle? Empty. You can smell a faint scent of spiced wine. And the right? Empty. Smells of spiced wine. A subtle reddish stain can be seen on the rim when held in the light. Okay. Maybe the one on the left seems a little bit suspicious. Slightly sticky to the touch. And an aggressive smell. Let's conclude our examination. And let's take a look at all this other stuff. Let's take a look at the other things before we even look at the body. A quiet meal for a quiet end. The food sits cooling. Mute witness to a man who avoided the crowd, and death that would not wait. Let's examine the food. The meal is barely disturbed. Braised slig, Caledonian pundi rice, and stuffed olives. An off-world indulgence. So it wasn't the food that was poisoned. A thick, well-printed, leather-bound tome rests on the table, its spine stamped with a numeral 7, clearly one of many volumes. Let's take a look at the cover. The leather cover bears gilt lettering, Histories of Imperial Descent, Volume 7, The Ikaz Revolt, Causes, Conduct, and Consequences. Let's take a look inside. Pages are dense with fine print. Along the edges, faint smudges and a slight discoloration suggests frequent handling. 2 sections are bookmarked. Let's have a look at the foreword. This volume reaches us under a cloud of censure. Tyrus Mandego completed it while confined in Carthage Gate Prison on Kitane. Volume 7, on the Ikaz Revolt, spares neither rebel ambition nor the heavy hand of imperial reprisal. The Imperium has not authored this printing. Possession may invite scrutiny, yet the record of descent is as vital as triumph, and Mandego's pen carves the shadowed history with rare clarity. Read the first bookmarked section, Chapter 3, The Circle of Conspiracy. A shadowed circle of Ikazi nobles and merchants formed quietly, meeting in private halls and sealed gardens, their grievances whispered in secrecy. They pooled resources, bribed officials, and courted discontent. Funds and arms moved unseen, hidden among legitimate trade and noble privileges. Their aim was simple: undermine Imperial authority until Ikaz could act as if free. Each plot and secret shipment edged them closer to open revolt. We'll read the second bookmarked section, Chapter 9, Long Shadows. The Ikaz revolt's aftermath rippled through the Landsraad, sowing distrust amongst noble houses wary of rising dissent and hidden conspiracies. Imperial policies hardened with increased surveillance and harsher penalties, as fear of rebellion reshaped political alliances and court intrigues. Culturally, the revolt left scars. Songs of loss and caution passed quietly among the people, a whispered reminder that defiance invites ruin. Okay, we'll close the book, and let's examine the rear cover. A stamp on the back reads, "Printed without Imperial sanction by Lantern and Ash Press. Read in secrecy, burn in silence." Jeez. Alright, so he was studying some kind of a revolt, or an attempted revolt against the Imperium, but I wonder if that's because we're seeing a plot against the Imperium. Is it driven by the Tleilaxu? We don't really know. Austin Lath's gaunt frame lies slumped on the bench, skin pallid and waxy. Salt streak marks where his final sweat dried hours ago. Examine the upper body. No obvious signs of trauma. Oh, I wonder if we're going to need, all our, skills. Let's assess the cause of death from posture and state. A limp collapse. Mouth slightly open suggests sudden systemic failure rather than violence or prolonged agony. Examine the head. Eyes with heavy bags, cheeks hollow and sallow. Faint capillaries on his nose hint at long years of drink, not exactly the picture of health. Let's look at his mouth. Froth clings to the corners of his mouth, dried to a faint crust. Without medical expertise, what this indicates eludes you. Take a look at the eyes. His eyes remain open, lids sunken with heavy bags. Corneas are faintly clouded, the mark of sudden systemic failure. Examine something else. Let's take a look at his clothing. Well-made garments, finely tailored, but worn and unchanged for days. Pockets are empty, showing no recent use. Infer behavioral pattern from dress and state. Extended isolation, no recent change of clothes suggests focus on study or secrecy over personal upkeep. Okay. And the only other thing we need to do is to interrogate witnesses in the Upper Seleucid Bull. So we have a list of names that the bouncer gave us, so let's see if we can speak to all of them. Okay, who are we looking for? Maybe the game's just going to direct us to every single person one by one. Or no, it's just showing us the general area. Interrogate witnesses in the Upper Seleucid Bull. I don't know if all of these people are involved or... Ah, this person.
Oh, I swear to the stars, if you're here to ply me with a drink, I'm going to shove shards of glass in your eyes. I'm sorry. Am I sorry? No, I'm not. Let me be plain. This is the worst possible time. I do not wish to speak. Kindly go away, please.
I've been in Austin's room. I'd like to ask a few questions.
You've seen... Very well. Let's get this over with. My name is Hester Klimt. Ask your questions.
Can you tell me how you know Austin Lath?
I was his assistant. We worked together at the Imperial Planetologist's office. That's the extent of our relationship.
What sort of a boss was he?
Adequate. He was adequate. At any rate, he's dead now, leaving me sorting out a mountain of chaos. Damn him. Sorry.
Can you tell me what sort of man he was?
He was my boss. I didn't know him outside of the workplace. I can't be of any more help than that.
You have no other insight to impart?
No. And what does it matter? There's no foul play. Unless you have some compelling evidence or medical training, I have to deal with the fallout now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare. I have to clean out his office. I have to prepare for his replacement. There's too much.
Alright, I'll leave you to it. Who else? I'm not entirely sure if these people are the ones we need to speak to at all, because I remember them from a previous quest. This guy?
Back so soon? Can't get enough of my charming company, eh?
Do you know Austin Lathe?
Looking for Austin Lathe, hmm? Let me tell you about Corporal Lathe. No relation, mind you. 5th Mesa Infantry Dejamwadi, hell of a fight. We'd cut down half a cohort of Harkonnen Dragoons and Engineers, stalling the Bastion's build. One blink too long, and we were marked. Last fire from the Bastion's shadow, pinning us down, peeling men apart. But Corporal Lathe, he moved through that ruin like it was his own grave. Blood on the stone, breath like ash. Got behind the nest, killed it quiet. A minor victory swallowed by the endless grind of war. Corporal Lathe and 11 other troopers died that day. You want a hero's tale, that's it. But don't expect the Lathe you're chasing to be like that. Different man. This one's just a ghost story for fools at the bar. I hope your Lathe is alive. Mine surely isn't.
Yeah, well, ours is also, unfortunately, dead. We are getting another marker. Perhaps maybe I can follow that one. Give me a sec, I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, actually, we've got a couple of markers leading us elsewhere, so let's follow those. I thought we would have to speak to a couple more people in the Solution Bull. Find a way to prove foul play. This one's a little bit closer. Above us, though. Or I could go back to our handler and see if we can get a hint from him. Oh, apparently this opens at some point. Wait a sec. Where am I headed here? Oh, it's the hidden room. Hidden, well, it's not exactly hidden, but it's in the back alleys. Oh, okay. I don't think this room was open prior, so this is interesting.
You do not appear to be injured or ill. So what brings you to my clinic?
Alter my appearance. Oh, okay. I can change my appearance here, apparently. You look distressed. Having troubles with your clinic?
My clinic is plagued with troubles. Perhaps you can help me.
Okay. Apparently this is a contract, so...
I came to this war-torn planet to do good. Instead, vital equipment and medicine is stuck in administrative hell. No doubt the supplies are flagged for the shady origins. I would be grateful for anyone to go to the customs office and straighten this out.
Sure, we'll do that, but
We meet
I
again.
need your assistance. I am investigating the death of Austin Lath.
I can't say I know the name, but I'm afraid my head has been buried in matters concerning my clinic of late. What's this to do with me?
I suspect foul play. I'd like to test the veracity of that with your expertise.
A possible murder, then. I see. That is interesting. At least morbidly so. Today has taken an interesting turn. I'll do the best I can without a body to directly examine. What can you tell me about the state of the cadaver?
I found froth around the cadaver's mouth.
That makes me suspect poison. However, without bodily samples to test, I cannot confirm.
How might I confirm a poison theory?
A poison snooper would be the most expedient method.
Do you have a poison snooper to spare?
I'm afraid I don't have any snoopers at all. My supplies are lacking in general at the moment.
Do you know how I can acquire one?
If I knew that, I'd have one already. But I'm not exactly familiar with the more illicit sources of goods in Arakeen.
Okay. Acquire a poison snooper through Alistair Chim or Tidji O'Gary. Okay, I'll just have a chat with either one of them. I don't think that'll really make too much of a difference.
Oh, hey there, friend. Looking for anything special?
As a matter of fact, I am.
Well, color me curious. You've got a specific purpose in your eyes. What are you looking for?
Does the name Austin Lath mean anything to you?
Don't know the man directly, but his name comes up. Don't know the man directly, but his name comes up now and then among those of us who sell things on the sly.
I'm in the market for a poison snooper.
You're in luck. I just so happen to have a snooper. I could part with it for a proper pittance of Solari, or perhaps some alternative form of payment.
Okay. If we don't have the Solari, we could give them 50 metal salvage. I mean, it's only 100 Solari, so...
Solari always spends. Much obliged.
Cool. Alright, that's done. So, do we go back to... No, we go back to the Seleucid Bull, apparently. Perform the poison snooping ourselves. Okay, so let's go back to the body, see what we can find. Use the poison snooper. Poison snooper flashes red near his fingertips. Oh, what a weird looking thing. Indicating contact with a lingering surface toxin. Ah. Okay. Did I not assess or examine the hands? Gaunt hands lie limp, fingernails uneven and chewed down. An unusual, nervous habit for a man his station. Of his station, rather. Huh. We should take a look at the cups once more. The poison snooper flashes green for all 3 glasses, indicating no signs of poison. Really? Even the one on the left. Alright, what about the food? Okay. No poison in the food. Oh, hang on. What about this? I missed this last time. Examine the carafe's label. A label written in neat hands reads Cassirac Red 10,194 AG, a rare Caledonian vintage, briny and mineral, kissed by ocean winds. Let's use the snooper. Green over the carafe. Okay. There must be something else here then. What about the book itself? Red. Along the page edges, contact poison. The book itself became Lath's executioner. But didn't we pick up the book? How are we not dead? Unless we've got some kind of immunity. Alright. Oh, I guess we need to report back then. Interrogate witnesses again in the Upper Seleucid Bull. Right. Well, maybe we can ask some questions about what that book is actually all about. Oh, is there a Bene Gesserit there? Did we speak to that Bene Gesserit before? No. It's just a random Bene Gesserit hanging out.
You? Again? You're like a rash. Sorry. Was that hurtful? Not hurtful enough. How is this supposed to go? I'm in over my head. I'm not in the proper state of mind, and I promise there will be collateral damage if I have to open my mouth.
The evidence suggests Austin was murdered. What can you tell me about him?
Murder? That's impossible. I don't... How could you... How?
He was poisoned.
No, there's clearly been a mistake. The situation is insane enough without these wild theories.
A poisoned snooper confirmed it.
No, murder. It seems so unlikely, doesn't it? I don't...
What aren't you telling me?
All right, you nerve-wracking hound. Let me think. Perhaps I do know something that would help. Ask your questions.
Did Austin exhibit any strange behavior leading up to his murder?
Stranger than usual? He did become extra agitated. Paranoid, even. Particularly after a meeting with a strange woman.
A woman?
A redhead. He met with her in a closed room for hours. He came out, distressed, immediately ordering a Thopter transport for the following day.
Who was the woman?
I didn't recognize her. She looked, noble, perhaps.
Where did he go after meeting with this redhead?
I don't know if I should...
This is vital to solving his murder.
He had a secret workshop in the Eastern Shield Wall. I don't know why he chose such a remote location. I don't know what he worked on there. I never saw him work. I'll send you the coordinates of the workshop.
Okay. Back to the Haga Basin, then. Now that his murder is confirmed, I do have some more questions.
I understand. Let's get this over with.
Could you tell me more about Austin? Why anyone would want him dead?
Murder. I just can't believe... Well, the more I think about it, someone murdering Austin isn't so unbelievable. I don't know what to believe.
Let's just take a breath and start with what he was like in the workplace.
Austin wasn't a conventional boss. He rarely came into the office. A dysfunctional workplace, to say the least. No guidance, little teaching, nothing. With the absence of Cyprian Io, I've been taught nothing. I've had to figure it out as I go, running the day-to-day affairs in the chaos. In essence, I'm the acting planetologist of Arrakis. It's ludicrous, I'm in over my head. Damn Austin. Or rest in peace. Or both. I'm losing my mind.
Those below must always make up for the inadequacies of those above.
Isn't that the truth? I sweat blood figuring it out as I go, and he gets the title. I think someone powerful gave Austin his position as a favor owed. You should understand, Austin was a brilliant engineer, as near as I can tell. But something shattered him at some point. He's a shadow of who he was.
How do you mean?
It wasn't any one thing or any describable clue. Just a million tiny intangibles taken in while being around him. Something had him guilt-racked. Once I saw him sobbing over a set of city planning sketches. He didn't see me. He avoided his work and skill set. It made him feel guilty or afraid. I'm not sure how he made ends meet, but the job title remained and money kept coming in.
Do you have an alibi?
An alibi for Austin's murder? I was out on business that Austin had been neglecting.
I don't suppose someone can confirm that?
I'm afraid the only proof I can show are piles of hastily prepared paperwork.
Who else might have had access to the room where Austin was found?
Alistair and Ugo have access to any room in the Seleucid Ball, of course. I know I've seen Ambrose Lucifera in and out of there.
Do any of them strike you as capable of murder?
Isn't that the thing about murder? We're often surprised by who is capable. I suppose Ugo and Alistair might have their own shady dealings. But I can't imagine them killing someone in their own establishment. And Ambrose seems too ridiculous. I don't know.
Can you tell me anything about the book that was found in the room?
Was that some sort of revolutionary manifesto? I don't know much about the book itself, other than Austin was reading it obsessively recently.
Was there anything in his actions or demeanor that you could connect with the text?
Not specifically. Well...
What is it?
I don't know if it is any way connected, but Austin's political demeanor was becoming more, I suppose, militant. Towards the end, he also seemed to be hanging out about more and more shady and dangerous-looking people, though I have no idea who they were.
All right. Well, definitely a wild goose chase, isn't it? So we're going to need to go back to the Haga Basin, although it does say that we need to continue interrogating witnesses, though.
Do mine ears detect the footfalls of someone who will add a drop of excitement to this rather pedestrian evening?
I'm here to inquire about Austin Lath's death.
Austin's dead? But I only saw him recently. So full of life.
I'm sorry. I know this might come as a terrible shock.
Wait. Is this a potential murder investigation? How charmingly macabre! Do you really think someone murdered poor Austin? Shh, don't spoil it. Yes, I simply must be involved. How might I facilitate your sleuthery?
Are you sober enough to answer some questions?
Now see here, I am only midway through today's debauch, and am of sound enough mind to answer the queries of both of you. There are two of you, yes? I jest. Do lighten up. This isn't a funeral, it's a possible murder scene.
I have a few questions regarding Austin Lath.
I've already imbibed several libations in dear Estim's memory.
Austin.
Yes, of course. Carry on.
What can you tell me about Austin?
My occasional drinking companion has an education in engineering. If anything, he's even more of a man of leisure than I.
How do you mean?
He has an advisory position at the Imperial Planetologist's office, though I don't believe he's ever set foot in that office. He's here more often than even I. If you ask me, and you have, he curried the favor of someone powerful to receive such a cushy job.
What else can you tell me about Austin?
Well, his carnal pursuits are prodigious. He worked his way through nearly all of Arakeen's eligible ladies. The man knows how to pitch woo prolifically.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't have thought that he was that kind of person, but I thought he mainly kept to himself.
It's been a most unusual pleasure. Should you discover any more...
Hang on. We do need to ask the main question, though, right? Of reason to believe that Austin was poisoned. Thoughts?
Well, I should think you'd be the resident expert on poisons with your involvement in the farcical plot to assassinate me. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I did do you the courtesy of failing the murder plot.
Just a jest at your expense. All water under the bridge, I assure you. Why, some of my closest friends have tried to murder me at one time or another.
Jeez.
Now, what were we talking about?
I mean, considering his personality. Your thoughts on Austin being poisoned?
A proper murder mystery, and I'm a suspect. How wickedly romantic. Perhaps I felt a deadly envy toward my dear friend.
Envy? Over what?
Nothing comes to mind. He was a sad sack of wine, whereas I am rather fabulous. Come to think of it, we weren't very close friends. Pshaw, we can hammer out a motive later. I'm just glad to be in the rogues gallery of this caper.
Can you tell me anything constructive about my poison theory?
I can say this about poisoning Austin. It would be easy to do. The man had recently developed a bottomless appetite for spiced alcohol. Not everyone can handle vice with the charm and panache that I do. People like Austin turn alcoholic dependency into something depressing. Something terrible haunted that man. 1 part guilt and 2 parts fear of discovery, shaken well and garnished with intrigue.
You're not as bumbling or whimsical as you want others to believe.
My, such a sharp and incisive mind. You're liable to cut yourself on it. I trust you'll keep that little deduction between us.
Okay. Maybe it's all a facade. Let's discuss some of our findings.
Allow me to lend you an ear. Maybe 2.
A look at his fingernails indicated a vicious nail-biting habit.
Ah, yes. His illimitable nervous tic. I can stomach murder and cadavers, but just thinking about that man's poor, tormented cuticles. Ugh. And I'll tell you another thing. He had deep-seated mother issues that bordered on fetishistic.
How do you know?
We can smell our own.
Ugh. Alright, do you know anything about a redhead?
Only that they have an improbably high propensity for slapping me, men and women. Though to be fair to them, I deserved it. Oh, do you mean Austin's tremulous little apprentice cowering at the window?
Hester? No, not that redhead.
In that case, no.
Do you know anything about the relationship between Austin and the sandflies?
I'm afraid I missed out on that bit of gossip. A pity. I did see him reading a Sandflies manifesto recently.
Yeah, so do you know anything about that book?
I can say that he was rather buried in that book. A recent reading obsession. He even had it open at the bar, barely registering the people around. I was mildly put off by all the finger-licking he did whilst turning the pages, but if moisture is needed on Arrakis, one must simply supply it themselves.
Can you tell me anything about the subject matter of the book?
Oh, yes, that was the most scandalous bit about it. A rather controversial text full of criticisms of the Empire. The title was, Histories of Imperial Descent, Volume 7, The Ikaz Revolt, Causes, Conduct, and Consequences Within the Imperium. Or something, thereabouts. Come to think of it, he also recently read a banned Sandflies manifesto titled Wings in the Dark, Notes Toward a Future Without Chains.
You're very perceptive for a day drinker.
Yes, well, I simply must petition my house to change our motto to, For we are high functioning.
Alright, that's all for now.
I shall count the minutes until the next disaster. It's been a most
Alright, interesting. Cyprian? I think we need to speak to him.
Very well, what do you want?
I have questions about Hester Klimt and Austin Lath.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
They both work at the Imperial Planetologist.
Why are you harassing me? Portafoy, prepare for action.
Okay. So he's not one of the people that I need to interrogate? So who else do I need to speak to? I guess maybe I need to speak to the barkeep and the bouncer once more.
Welcome to the Matador Room. If you're here for shade, if you're here for honesty, I suggest dehydration.
You need to shut down the Espada room. A noble has been murdered.
I believe you are mistaken. Master Lathe is under the influence of something quite spiritual. Vantadraft. Known side effects include coma, confession, and occasionally death. But let's be generous and assume the middle one.
He's dead. Lock down the room.
Ugo, we have a report of a patron in the Espada room asking about the green door.
The green door?
It goes into the back alley. We use it to remove patrons sharing Master Lathe's delicate disposition, with more frequency than one might expect.
What was the engineer's drink?
Vantadraft. Poured black as regret. The real stuff. Illegal, with a trace of poison. Mined in barrels, not bottled. Master Lathe said it was the only drink honest enough to finish what he started.
Did you say poison?
Not officially. Just a spice stabilizer that got banned in 3 systems. Makes the color pretty. Also kills your liver. Depending on who you ask, that's a feature.
An organophosphate variant. Damage is irreversible. Calling it a stabilizer is optimistic.
Optimistic? That's generous. The bottle said, may impair judgment. Master Lathe read that as permission.
Who gains the most from the engineer's death?
You will have to ask his assistant, Hester Klimt. She catalogues tragedy like a tax collector. Go spoil her mood.
He sounds like a typical depressed noble.
Depressed, yes. However, Master Lathe was anything but typical.
In what way was he different?
To start with, Master Lathe wasn't always a noble.
What you're suggesting is very rare but possible. What was his billet?
He was a civic engineer.
Bondsman's billet on any world.
But here, he had an appointment to an advisory position with the Imperial Planetologist's office.
Noble appointment in any world. Did Lath appreciate his rare opportunity?
He used to opine on that very subject in great detail when he got deep enough in his cups. The rare opportunity you speak of. Said there was blood on the contract and fine print that no one warned him about. Said the nobility were the rot at the center of everything.
Blood and fine print. That's the noble way. Smile while they brand you.
Master Lathe saw through the game, finally. But that only pushed him into the shadows.
What kind of shadows are we talking about?
The kind that don't fall with the sun. Master Lathe began to appear with pamphlets that reeked of bad printing. And even worse, ideas. Got cozy with other like-minded maniacs who shared his beliefs about noble rot.
I've got some further questions about this case.
If you must.
Do you know anything about a redhead Austin's been meeting?
That narrows it down to half the bad decisions made in this district.
Apparently, this redhead is very reclusive.
Sorry, I don't make a habit of cataloguing Master Lathe's conquests.
This isn't gossip. I'm asking if she had a name and whether she had a reason to want the engineer dead.
As far as I know, the only one who wanted the engineer dead is the engineer. You'll have to ask his assistant, Hester.
When was the last time you saw Lath alive?
Saw him when he came in to measure his Vanderdraft, fussed with the paw like a chemist balancing a toxin. That was this morning.
Have you seen anyone else come and go from the room?
His assistant Hester and that puffed-up wine merchant Ambrose Lucifera used to intrude, but not lately. The last few weeks he kept the door closed and the bottle closer. I eagerly anticipate your return.
No, you don't.
Can't get anything past you.
Alright. And once more to our Italian friend.
Ah, you are back.
I've got more questions.
How can I help?
The poison snooper lit up when I analyzed his book.
But who would want to kill Master Lath? He was already doing a good job over that himself. Between his taste for that toxic Harkonnen brew he loved so much, and the company he kept.
What kind of company is that?
House deserters and ex-Dune men mostly. Not the kind that file taxes or hold court on Kaiten.
Are we talking about the
Keep it down,
Sandflies?
stranger. But yes, if you are asking if Master Lath drifted that far, he did. Master Lath was a creature of habit, wretched ones. Benders that lasted days, women and drink until he couldn't see straight.
Public kind of collapse or private?
Oh, public! Shouting poetry in the gutter. One sock, no shoes. The sheriff, he dragged him in more than once. No charges, of course. Not for his kind.
And then?
He would vanish. Poof! Sometimes for days or weeks at a time. Always come back clear-eyed, skin back like a desert stone. That is when he would hole up in the private room, pour himself a Vanta, crack open one of those revolutionary tomes, and the cycle would begin anew.
Alright. Well, that's a lot of interrogating, and we need to go back to Subperfect Tors and report back in. I suspect we are going to have to go back to the Haga Basin, but looking at the amount of time that we've spent on this episode, I reckon I'm gonna wrap things up here, and when we continue, we'll probably just pick up where we left off and have a chat with Tors, and then go to the Haga Basin and do what we have to do out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Drop me a like or a dislike or some comments down below as usual. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.